Good evening, guys. This evening's topic D talks about role reversal when the child becomes the caregiver of their parents. Okay, so we're going to go through that tonight for D. So please join me for the presentation I made for you. Hopefully, this helps enlighten some people about caregiving for their parents. Okay, here we go. Here's a clear, grounded explanation of the phrase role reversal with an aging parent, based primarily on the surrounding content of the page you're viewing, expanded with deeper content of explanation. Okay, what the phrase means in this context. On this page, role reversal with an aging parent refers to the moment when the familiar parent-child dynamic begins to revert. People who once provided structure, protection, and guidance gradually become the ones who need reassurance, oversight, and hands-on help. Adult children find themselves stepping into roles their parents once held, coordinating care, offering emotional steadiness, managing logistics, and sometimes making decisions that shape daily life. The article frames this shift as a predictable milestone in today's aging landscape. It often emerges around age 48 for adult children when their parents are in the early 70s, a stage of life where independence may still be present, but vulnerabilities begin to surface. Longer lifespans, chronic conditions, things of that nature. And the increasing complexity of modern systems all contribute to this turning point. What drives the role reversal? The surrounding content highlights several forces that gradually unsure families into this new relational terrain. Physical health changes that makes once routine tasks more difficult. Shifts in mental well-being, including memory lapses, slower processing, challenges in navigating digital systems, from smartphones to parent portals or patient portals. The overwhelming nature of insurance forms, financial documents, and official paperwork. Growing need for help with transportation, errands, and home maintenance. These changes rarely arrive as a single dynamic moment. Instead, they accumulate quietly, small signals that a parent is struggling, subtle shifts in confidence or capability, until the adult child realizes they've become primarily the primary support. The emotional dimension. The page underscores that the practical responsibilities are only one layer of the experience. The deeper transformation is emotional and relational. Many adults begin to identify more as a caregiver than a than as a child. There's often a bittersweet awareness that a parent's independence is changing. Feelings of love, grief, protectiveness, frustration, and tenderness coexist. Adult children may feel the weight of becoming the steady one in the relationship. This emotional reorientation is the heart and soul reversal. It's not just about doing more for a parent, but about becoming something different to them, often in ways that stir memory, identity, and family history. The bigger picture. The article the article situates this shift within a broader societal reality. As people live longer, often with multiple chronic conditions, families shoulder much of the caregiving load. Role reversal has become a common and expected stage of middle life, especially especially for those balancing careers, children, and now the emerging needs of aging parents. It's a transition that blends logistics with identity, responsibility with tenderness, and planning with acceptance. Most families with most families will encounter it, and the page frames it as a natural, though emotionally layered part of the modern aging journey. Okay, guys, the next part is parenting your parents. Strategies for managing the emotional toll of role reversal. The article's way of naming a profound life transition, one that is as emotional as it is practical. The page you're viewing treats this shift not as a failure or a family crisis, but as a developmental stage of its own, something that emerges naturally as parents age and adult children step into new forms of responsibility. What makes the phrase powerful is that it acknowledges both sides of the experience. The adult child who is suddenly carrying more than they ever expected, and the parent who is grappling with vulnerability, dependence, and loss of control. What the phrase is capturing, the article uses parenting your parents to describe the moment when the caregiving dynamic flips. Tasks that once belonged to the parent, decision making, emotional steadiness, planning, protection, beginning to fall on the adult child. But the page emphasizes that this isn't just about managing medications or driving to appointments. It's about navigating the emotional terrain of watching a parent change and the renegotiating a relationship that has defined your entire life. The emotional toll is central. The grief of witnessing decline, the fear of making the wrong choices, the guilt of not doing enough, the resentment that can surface when caregiving collides with work, children, or personal needs. The article also names the parent's emotional world, the shame of needing help, the frustration of losing independence, and the anxiety of becoming a burden. This mutual vulnerability is the heart of the role reversal. Emotional aspects or emotional impacts. The page highlights. The article goes deeper than surface level stress and identities, or identifies the layered emotional realities families face. Okay, guys, when somebody goes through this, that's when they need to ask for extra supports from the community, from professionals, from aging uh, area aging area agencies on aging. They can help step in and set up a care plan for your mother, father, family members, things of that nature. So that people that are caregiving don't take on the total burden, and so that they can have respite care when needed, because you never want to take your frustrations out on your family member or parent because you're angry about being their caregiver. You have to step back for yourself. That's where self-care comes in, folks. You have to think of that whole thing. It's a whole other ball game when you take on the role of taking care of a parent. You have to find an outlet for your frustration. And that doesn't mean, taking it out on somebody. That means stepping away, getting some air, taking 15 or 20 minutes for yourself, and then coming back to the situation. Okay, next page, guys. Grief and anticipatory loss. Mourning the parent you once knew while still caring for the person in front of you. Identity disruption. Shifting from child to care coordinator, advocate, or decision maker. Overwhelming and anxiety. The consistent pressure to make the right choices about safety, health, and finances. Guilt uh, for feeling frustrated, for not having enough time, for wanting to break or wanting a break. Resentment, especially when siblings contribute unevenly or when caregiving consumes your life. Ambivalence, loving your parent deeply while struggling with the emotional labor of their decline. The article normalizes these feelings rather than pathological, pathologically uh, pathologizing them, framing them as expected responses to an to unex- to an unexpected life chapter. Practical strategies the article recommends. The page offers a set of grounded, compassionate strategies to help families navigate the emotional and logistical complexity of role reversal. 1. Open ongoing communication. Regular conversations, not just crisis driven ones, help surface fears, clarify expectations, and reduce misunderstandings. The article encourages naming emotions directly and inviting parents to express their own. emotions. Preventing dignity and autonomy, or preserving dignity and autonomy. Even when help is needed, parents should be included in decisions. Whenever possible. The page stresses that autonomy is a core emotional need, and honoring it reduces conflict and shame. Setting boundaries and defining roles. Caregiving without boundaries leads to burnouts. The article recommends dividing responsibilities among siblings, clarifying limits, and recognizing that you cannot and should not do everything alone. Seeking support. The page highlights the value of caregiver support groups, therapy, and professional coaching. These resources provide emotional validation, communication tools, and practical planning guidance. Planning ahead is number 5, guys. Discussing legal documents, financial planning, medical preferences, and long term care options early prevents crisis driven decisions and reduces emotional strain later. Practical self care without guilt. The article The article reframes self care as a caregiving skill, not a luxury. Rest, boundaries, and personal time are essential to, to sustaining the role. Celebrating victories, small victories, moments of connection, humor, or cooperation matter. The page encourages noticing these to counterbalance the heaviness of the journey. Why professional help matters. The article underscores that coaching or professional guidance can offer objective perspective on family dynamics, help mediate difficult conversations, provide tools for conflict resolution, support emotional processing, create structured care plans that reduce chaos. This support helps families move from reactive caregiving to intentional collaborative care. The deeper message at the core, the phrase and the article remind readers that role reversal is not personal failing or a sign of family dysfunction. It's a natural, painful evolution of the cycle. The page's goal is to help families navigate it with clarity, compassion, and shared responsibility rather than isolation or resentment. Okay, guys, that's D for you. Hope this gave some people some information you need. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks. Leave me questions, comments about the shows I do for you. See what I can do about putting together other shows for topics. Leave them in the chat below for me, please, and we'll see what we can do about getting it on for you. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.